through a quick trip through each area. But users will be able to choose whether to continue to use the forms they've been using at 12.1, or at 12.2 you can put these HTML screens on their menus and they can get a lot more familiar user interface where standard HTML behaviors apply. Okay, we also, as I mentioned, have smartphone apps in a number of areas. I'll cover that one a little more as we get to some of the key ones. So let me give a very quick sort of round the circle trip just to highlight just a couple things. We have a short time today, but just a couple things in each area just to give you a sense of how we're thinking about progressing the different functional areas. Financials actually in the last year has been one of the most active areas of development. So we have command centers in receivables that I already showed you. We have one in payables to help you not pay invoices sooner than you need to, but not pay them late because they're on hold or have some processing problem. Let you manage your payables timing to get discounts that you can get by paying early, but not otherwise pay earlier than you need to. You can, in assets, identify transactions that might be hanging up the period close, pending transactions. You can identify from an asset utilization point of view, you can find assets, let's say laptops, that are in a particular location but not assigned to anybody and not fully depreciated yet. So those are assets that you're wasting. So you can identify asset utilization issues just with this dashboard and then drill all of the individual situations that you want to resolve. On the regulatory side, now this particular piece is going to apply to 12.1 and 12.2 because it's regulatory related. IFRS 16, and we're already in the year where you have to be compliant, so you should all have solutions in place for this, but just in case somebody doesn't, or in case you did a third-party product or a custom exercise to comply here, realize that within your eBusiness Suite financial support entitlement, nothing new to buy, you can actually have a solution for this lease accounting problem. So what's the problem? IFRS standards now require that your operating leases, like if you are the lessee of equipment, if you lease copiers or cars or whatever in your business, you now have to put those leases on your balance sheet. Establish what we call a right of use asset and a liability for all the lease payments, and then make gradual payments against those things. You don't just register an operating expense at the time you make the rent payment. So if you're dealing with real estate, we had Oracle Property Manager for this. And if you were a lessor of equipment, like a vendor leased equipment, we have an application specific for that. The case that most customers have is this one on the top right. You're the lessee of equipment. And for that, what we've done is we've taken some of the functionality out of Property Manager and kind of made screens that are specific for this equipment use case and provide that now as part of your financial support. You don't have to buy Property Manager. You just get this entitlement because you're running EBS Financials. And what this does is it lets you register information about your leases and some of the financial aspects of the leases that you have, and the system will emit the amortization schedules and the accounting entries that you need to be compliant with the regulation. Okay, applies to 12.1 and 12.2. Okay, switching gears to order management. In order management, we have a new command center so that you can help resolve and expedite orders that might be otherwise at risk of shipping late. You can find orders that are on hold and drill around and find out why they're on hold and expedite them to release them so you can meet your customer commitments. We also, in 12.2, we have an order management HTML UI. So those of you on 12.1 are using the order management form that's forms-based. When you get to 12.2, you have an HTML alternative you can choose. And then functionality-wise, in order management, we've done a lot of work to facilitate the configuring, pricing, quoting, and taking orders for combinations of products and associated services. Those could be warranties, it could be replenishment services, it could be service agreements of different types, support agreements of different types. And then within service contracts, how you bill for those, we have a lot more flexibility. You can have milestone-based billing, so if you have a kind of configured product where you want to take a down payment on the initial order, you take another payment on delivery, and then you take a final payment after the product has been tuned or set up and configured and the customer is satisfied, you can now set that up just within order management and essentially sell something that's billed on a simple milestone